Hello Year 6 and welcome to today's English lesson. So, 1 week until half term and we've got a big week in English. We are going to be writing our stories of Lady Macbeth, the untold story. So we're going to be doing that today. So hopefully on Friday you did your plans for it, so you know what you're going to write, so that today we can concentrate on how we're going to write it. So, important things for us to think of. We are concentrating on using descriptive techniques because we're going to be writing the bit where Lady Macbeth is at the start of the story, so we need to introduce her. She's going to be in her castle, so we need to introduce the castle, and it's off while Macbeth is off fighting, so we might think about how Lady Macbeth is feeling, okay? So for today, I want you to just concentrate on making a really good opening to the story, so we don't need to get past that point. Tomorrow we're going to write about the bit where Macbeth comes home. So in today you could get the description, she could receive this letter from Macbeth, and then that's as far as we need to go today, okay? But I want you to really work hard to include this success criteria. I just need to reach forward and find out, put it on my screen so that I can do it. So, things that I'm looking for you to include are smoothing. Range of adjectives and adverbs to describe the nouns and verbs, okay? So, if you're writing an adjective, if you're writing a noun, think, can I put an adjective in front of this to describe it? If you're writing about a verb where someone is doing something, think, can I put an adverb? Not all the time, but every so often would be great. Then things we should be doing. So starting some sentences with ing and ed openers. So we could say, tired from a terrible night's sleep, Lady Macbeth arose out of her bedchambers and made her way to the dining room. Or ing openers, running as fast as she could, Lady Macbeth ran away as she discovered, I'm wondering how that is, but you get the idea. We should try and include some relative clauses. I'll do that in my example in a minute. Include some similes, and then we could use some dashes to get some extra information in there. We could use an online thesaurus to improve our vocabulary choices, and we could include some metaphors. Now the best way I think for me to do this is to get on with writing it. So let's disappear down to my hand, and then you can see what it is, the kind of thing I'm looking for. Okay, so success criteria is going to appear down here, and we are writing this first section of our story. Now normally I would write something different, but I'm actually going to write a similar kind of thing to what you're looking for today. Don't copy it.
Don't copy it.
Okay, you can use ideas, but don't just copy it. So you've got the date and the learn objective, which you should have done, and then we can get in to our story. So it is Lady Macbeth, the untold story. Now, we could just start with the normal ways of Lady Macbeth, but I'm going to start by describing the setting, okay? So, can you see that? That's probably not the best pen. Let's try a different pen. Lightning thrashed. Is thrashed a word? Yeah, I'm going to go with this. Lightning thrashed down from the dark skies. As Dunsinane Castle awoke from its sleep. In an upstairs window, comma, because I've used a fronted adverbial, Lady Macbeth looked out into the distance with only her thoughts for company. Okay, now I need to start thinking about some of the success criteria because I've kind of got off without thinking about it. So let's see if I can use a relative clause in here. Her green eyes which pierced through the morning gloom. comma, scanned the horizon in search of her husband. How could I carry on? Her green eyes, which pierced through the morning gloom, scanned the horizon in search for her husband. Let's see if I can get some similes in her. She placed her thin hands on the window, which was as cold as a frozen lake in the depths of winter. I'm going to start a new paragraph now to explain where her husband is. For weeks now, Lady Macbeth had been awaiting news of her husband. Gonna throw in a rhetorical question here. My hand's starting to ache. Had he survived the latest battle for his king and country? Lady Macbeth would not mind if she respected her king. However, her selfish thoughts believed her and her husband belonged on the throne. Okay, so if I think about my success criteria so far, I have got use a range of adjectives and adverbs to describe nouns. Yeah, although I could have got a few more adverbs in there. She, I'm going to put carefully placed, and I've got an adverb in there. Okay, I've definitely got some adjectives. I've started with some ing openers somewhere. I've used a relative clause. I've included a simile there about the frozen lake. I've not got any dashes in there yet. Okay, could I get a sentence with some dashes in there now? However, her selfish thoughts believed her and her husband belonged on the throne. King Duncan, dash, who had become quite elderly in recent years, was completely unaware of the evil thoughts running through Lady Macbeth's mind. Okay, so I've got some dashes in there. I think my vocabulary choice has been quite good. I've not got any metaphors in. However, I do want to be stopping now because I've been writing for about 7 minutes. But you can see I've managed to do quite a big chunk in these 7 minutes and I've not even really got going. Okay, let's just go back to my face for a minute. So year 6, by the time you've watched this video, it's probably a 10-minute video or so. I want you to be writing for a good half an hour, 35 minutes. And we are introducing Lady Macbeth. We're introducing the castle, which I didn't even get to at all really in my example. And then we can also get to the bit where Lady Macbeth receives a letter from her husband where it says that he's been made Thane of Cawdor and that the king is coming to stay that evening. Okay, tomorrow we will continue the story and we'll write about the part where Macbeth gets home and then there is the murder of King Duncan. Okay, work hard year 6. I look forward to seeing your work today and have a great time doing it. In a bit.